So today I want to talk about why I chose the boot camp that I chose, and then I want to share just a little bit more about that specific boot camp. So let's get right into it. Just note I have my notes down here, so that's what I will be looking some of the time. So yeah, I chose to go with the boot camp because I didn't want to go back to school. I also needed to have something that I could do from home. I work from home, and I didn't want to have to go travel anywhere for a course. And so I decided to go with the boot camp. Now, a lot of these boot camps are very expensive. Like I'm talking $15,000 minimum for some of these boot camps. Wasn't what I was trying to do personally. I was like very much over that expensive schooling part of my life. But I love courses in general. So I knew that I would like it. And I actually stumbled upon a webinar from a company called Avocademy. And when I took that webinar, it felt right in my soul. I talked to several other people, and while I knew that I could learn UX through them, it didn't match all the boxes that I needed it to check essentially. And so Avocademy was way more affordable. It was supportive. I could tell that there was a community there, and it just felt very thorough. They have unlimited mentorship as well. And I'm so glad that I chose them, like so glad that I went with this camp. The boot camp. It was probably the best decision I made in more recent years. And so I'm going to mention some info about Avocademy next. Just so you know, they have two main courses. They have a foundations course, which covers the foundational design process from end to end, covers methodologies, the background of UX, kind of where it came from, the history and all of that, as well as other design systems and all the things. It covers a lot. In that program, there are I think there's 22 modules that you go through. Some of it is content-based and some of it is actually physically doing things. And at the end, you will have one full project from end to end that you designed yourself, going through all the steps in the design process, and that you can now add in your portfolio. And so it was fantastic to finish that program and have an actual complete project at the end of that. And so that's the main portion of foundations. Originally, it was marketed as an 8-week program. Some people finish quicker or take longer. And they recently extended that support, because you'll get support from the mentors, for up to 16 weeks. And I actually finished my portion in 16 weeks as well. That worked for me. I did it part-time and kind of where I could. I worked from home, but I still worked. So I would do it after work or just throughout the day when I had time. And so 16 weeks worked pretty well. Let's look it up now. Avocademy is, let's see how much it is. Last I checked, it was right under $2,000 for the UX UI Foundations course. So currently, if you do it in one payment, it's $1,997. And it is available worldwide. So I believe they recently opened that up. And then you can also pay over time through Affirm. I believe they have some other options. So you can pay over 6 months, 12 months, 36 months. For example, it could be as low as $70 a month. I think I did the 6-month portion. So I paid about $300-ish a month for that course. And so that was really nice because I could just like fraction it out and not have to pay it up front. So that felt really attainable. So there are several different financing options that you can do for this course. And I think that's just so great that they have options available. They really want to make the content accessible for people. There's no gatekeeping as far as what's available for people to learn. And I know in the UX UI world right now, people are talking about it's oversaturated. There's so many designers. There are a lot of bad designers. Like all this noise about there just being too many people getting into UX, UI. But honestly, every company, every product out there needs people who are focusing on the user's needs. And so honestly, I don't really see a problem with it personally. That's just me though. Okay. And you can schedule like a free one-on-one mentoring session to learn a little bit more about Avocademy. And actually, they recently released their intro course. It's free until May 1st. It is, I think you can finish it in under 3 hours. And I definitely would have taken this course if it was available when I started. It covers a lot of good info just to teach you about what to expect in UX, kind of what roles you could do, what's the process in the design process. It goes over the differences between user experience and user interface, the tools needed as a UX designer, and then UX concepts as well. Fantastic course. I'm going to leave a link below that you can sign up for this course absolutely free. After May 1st, the price does go up, but it's honestly, it's so affordable. It's the price of guacamole, so it's $2.65, I believe. And so it covers a lot, and this is really great for anybody who's been considering changing careers and they just want to dip their toe in with very low commitment. No one has time to be paying like thousands of dollars for something that they don't even want to do. So take this course, use my link below to sign up, take this course and figure out if there's something you're interested in. It's a fantastic opportunity to be able to get into this, and I urge people to like not waste time, honestly. I wish I started sooner. I definitely would have signed up for this intro course had I known, had it existed, I guess, because it is new. And so again, I'll leave my link below that you can sign up with that. And overall, the foundations course, it just gives you so much, it covers so much material and allows you to just really get a glimpse into UX UI and start digging into more of those methodologies. I'm always talking to friends. They'll reach out to me and kind of ask about what I'm doing or like how I'm learning it. And I can't say enough great things about Avocadomy. I am going to leave a link down below to actually join the foundations course if you are ready to jump in. This link is going to give you $100 off, as well as for me, it's a referral link. So it's a win-win situation in my opinion. So when you get into the course, you can also share your link. It's kind of like just giving back, honestly. And so that's a little bit about the foundations course. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I created a mobile app, and I'm going back now and kind of like revising some of that design work now that I have more skills in there. The course itself was really great. Reaching out and talking to people, working on user testing, working in Figma. These are all just great things to start my career path into UX. The foundations course, once you finish, you are able to apply to the next course, which is called CJ. Now, if you have taken another course, say like the Google certification, and your portfolio is up to par, you can skip the foundations course, or if you've already done other courses, you can skip the foundations course. You just have to apply, and they'll look at stuff and let you know like, hey, it would really benefit you if you took the foundations course because you are still missing some gaps here and here and here, or if you are able to cover all those things in your previous course, then you can go into the next course. And so now I'd just like to talk a little bit about CJ. I also have taken the CJ course, and that was also really great. I've loved all the things I've taken with Avocadomy. Not to mention they also offer master classes as well, which I'll talk a little bit about that at the end. But the CJ course, I'm going to try and pull that up and find the price. Let's see, CJ. You do have to apply, and in CJ you have to do a design challenge before you're accepted in. Once you're accepted into CJ, then you'll start on the course material, which the courses are laid out in a very similar way with modules. There's about 2 weeks of like advanced Figma skills that you do first, and then you'll do an individual project, you'll do an individual project, and then you'll also do a couple of follow-alongs, which is like they'll have a designer walking you through the things and you have to do the steps in that exact same way. And then after you've completed that, then you can start applying to jobs, and more so not jobs, but projects. You can start applying to projects, which Avocadomy has a design agency that they created so that clients can actually come in. So these are real clients you're going to be able to work with, which is really invaluable. A lot of boot camps have like hypothetical projects, which it doesn't convey much to hiring managers that you actually know how to work with stakeholders, which stakeholders are anyone who has skin in the game essentially for that product. And so getting to work with real clients is, again, invaluable. So once you finish your advanced design skills, you'll be able to jump into projects and start applying to those. And once you're picked, you'll join a team of about 5 or 6 people. The projects range from like 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes more, depending on the scope of the work. And then you will have a team lead in that project, which is another designer who essentially just organizes everything, kind of like submits deliverables to to the design mentor, which you'll have a design mentor, and a QA, which is a quality assurance mentor, I guess. And then you'll also have a project manager within your project. And so you have all these different people. And the design mentors, the QA, and the project manager are all Avocademy people. Some have taken the course before, and some are just other designers and mentors that work for Avocademy. And so you'll be able to work with real people, get real feedback, and work with a team of designers with varying skills and create a product for a real client. Now, these projects, they're not paid. It's essentially sort of like an internship. It is contract work. And so that client is getting that work for free, but what you're getting in return are those skills. Once you complete 2 projects, you can add those to your portfolio, and then you'll have 3. 3 is kind of the bare minimum projects you should have in your portfolio. And so once you have 3, you can start applying to jobs, but you are able to do another project. For instance, I have completed 2 projects, and I'm currently leading another project in the CJ program. And so I will have 3 group projects and 1 personal project from the foundations course. And I just wanted to have the experience of leading. I think that says a lot when you're going into interviews with hiring managers, and you can say like, hey, I've led a team of designers. I made these decisions, X, Y, Z. It's really great. Let's see. Oh, the price for Career Jumpstart right now, it's $5,000 up front. If you choose the financing options, there is some interest in there, and you can pay it before you start the program, or you can wait until after you have a job. I think that's a really great feature that they have there. So for instance, I haven't paid a dime for, I think actually like they may charge you like $1 just to hold your spot, but I haven't paid the fee of Career Jumpstart yet. And once you get a job, that's when payments will start kicking in. So you can do like after you graduate, pay in full right there, or you can do after you graduate, pay in installments. And again, if you decide to pay in installments or after graduating, that price does go up, and I believe it goes up to as high as $6,000, and another price is $5,500, depending on which financing option you do choose. And so while that's a little bit more expensive than the foundations course, it is still accessible because they have those financing options, as well as the promise of like when you get the job, then you can, pay. Career Jumpstart does have a job guarantee, and I want to describe what this actually means, because I've seen some people bashing Avocademy and their job guarantee, and it's like they don't understand what it actually is. It's not saying that you're going to get a job. Like, you're absolutely 100% guaranteed a job if you join this program. No. What it's guaranteeing you is that if you follow the program the way it's supposed to be, complete it, and if you complete the steps that it says, like there's like you have to apply to 160 jobs each month once you start the job applying process. If you follow these steps and you don't get a job within your time frame, which it will be outlined for you specifically for when you start it, then you will get your money back, or you do not have to pay. Whichever version if you already paid, you'll get it back. If you hadn't paid yet and you don't get that job, then you won't have to pay. That's what the job guarantee means. It doesn't mean they're going to make sure that you get a job. They're going to find a job for you. No. If you follow the steps the way it's supposed to be laid out, and you're actually trying to get a job and you don't in that time frame, you'll get your money back. So I like to just say that because some people were a little bit confused about that. And so, yeah, overall, the CJ course is really great. It's essentially like it's a working internship. Like, I've met so many designers. They're now my support community. We lean on each other as we're going through the interview process right now and job applying and all of that. And they also have dedicated student success people, as well as other mentors that reach out and like, hey, how's it going? Just want to know how the job hunt has happened, like how that's going. And they'll like lend out their tips and all of that, as well as the daily CJ calls, which are fantastic. What happens every day for 30 minutes. You can join the Zoom call People give updates about, the job hunting process, what they're going through, concerns, questions, venting sessions. Honestly, there's so much that gets covered in those calls, and it is daily. So I do recommend, if you do CJ, to join those calls, at least a couple times, like once or twice a week at least. It just helps you stay motivated and makes you feel like you're not alone in this process, because it can be very lonely. And so I have completed foundations and I've completed CJ, and now I'm in the job hunting phase, and I'm officially at my 2-month mark of searching for a job. What that looks like is that I have personally applied for about 500 jobs and it really is a numbers game. Like, applying to 5 jobs and complaining like, oh my gosh, I didn't get any interviews, or no one reached back out to me. These jobs, especially on LinkedIn, when you can see the amount of applicants, they have 200 plus applicants. And with that amount of applicants, plus the massive layoffs that have happened at larger tech companies, the pool of designers is large. There are still a lot of jobs, but your best bet is to look in those smaller and mid-sized companies, because a lot of them are just now getting UX designers, right? They're just now having a department, while other like medium companies do have an established design team, but they're looking in to bring more, because those junior designers have now graduated to senior designers and they need more junior designers to work under them. So there are jobs, but it really is a numbers game. So I've applied to over 500, or about 500, and then I'm currently doing like an experiment with the Bootcamp, where we're working with like a job applying app. And so with that, it has applied to over 1,000 for me. So technically I'm at like 1,600 jobs applied. So I feel a job coming soon. I have had a ton of recruiter calls, a ton of emails, reaching out, as well as one official interview. Hopefully there will be more soon. That's exciting. My goal is to get a job as soon as possible. I have until August 13th to secure a job to match up with that job guarantee that I was talking about before. And so I feel like they usually say, like, after, starting at like a month or 2, that's when a lot of these jobs will get back to you, because they just go through so many applicants. They're not in a hurry to hire, so they're looking through things at their own pace. And so I am expecting to hear back for some of the jobs that I applied to at the very beginning of my job hunt here in the next few weeks, hopefully. And so, yeah, the job searching phase can be really exciting at first, and then really hard, and then really lonely. And so I think it's great to kind of come up with a plan for job applying fatigue, because you are going to get fatigued from applying to so many jobs and then just feeling like all of them are rejecting you, which a lot of them, those rejection emails are very automated. Like, unfortunately, we decided to move forward with other candidates, something like that. I started collecting those and putting them in a folder, and now I just search for unfortunately in Gmail, and I just delete those emails. I mean, be careful not to delete something that actually is like, a job interest email. But if they're saying no to me, like, your loss. Rejection is redirection. I don't have time to focus on those rejection emails. And so that's what I focus on. And once you kind of come up with a plan for fatigue, for that job fatigue, I think you're better off to be able to start applying again. And so I'm at that part in my job hunting phase where I am very fatigued. I'm still hopeful, but I'm just like kind of bummed that I haven't had a successful interview process yet. But what I'm doing is just doing what I can, applying to a couple jobs here and there every day. I do need to get to 160 each month, but applying to a couple here and there. And also I'm kind of going back and looking at my portfolio and revising things, as well as just improving my skills. There are so many books in the UX field that you can read about just how to be a better designer overall. You can study typography and study color theory. You can study how to animate. You can study so many things. There's so much material out there. And so I encourage you, if you're also in this phase, to just continue learning. Never stop learning. We're going to have to keep learning as designers. Like, things change so often. Users' needs change. You have to keep learning, right? And so that's what I'm currently doing. I'm also working on just a couple of solo projects that I'm interested in. Those could be as simple as redesigning an app that you use or that you've come across. Anything of that sort. It's really nice to do that. And so that's what I'm doing currently, and hopefully next time I make a video that I have a job and I can share that with you. But as of right now, I still highly recommend Avocadomy. It's been a really great experience. The people I've met have been really awesome and supportive, and I've learned so much, and I just have like a hunger for learning more. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Also, just make sure you check out the description box for the link to the free intro class. It's free for the next 2 weeks, as well as a link to get $100 off of the, what is it called? Oh my gosh. As well as a link below to get $100 off of the foundations course. Camps are hot and cold for somebody. Some people hate boot camp. Some people are like, this is how I got in. But for me, it worked. It made sense financially, and just overall, it made sense for how I like to learn. And so that's why I chose Avocadomy. Highly recommend them. Check them out and let me know if you guys have any questions. All right, signing out. Bye.
Baby,